one thing there's not a time delay on, and that is Rocket League.
Yes!
We're back
Just excited about Rocket League.
We are back in Rocket League in a big way.
Let's do it.
Like they've started, they did a big update, Rocket League Season 2.
With mutators and all that.
With mutators and stuff. I really like the, we don't tend to play on them that much. We did it like that one day.
The donut one.
The donut one, yeah.
We've done them. We did it. We played it yesterday or the day before that.
Yeah, or Friday. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. We're getting bogged down in the details.
Yeah, I like that. But they've also just brought out the Batmobile.
Yeah.
Good. Well, they're bringing it. It's out tomorrow.
Yeah, but that's when this will go live.
Yeah.
So there you go.
It's out.
It's out.
Sorry, Jesus Christ!
I'm grasping this. I'm grasping this.
Days aren't your thing. You know, days aren't your thing.
You know, cartoons aren't live. They put a tremendous strain on the animator's wrist.
But yeah, so they're bringing out the Batmobile, and we started thinking about what other awesome vehicles from like movies, TV would we like to see in Rocket League, and we've come up with some good ones. Krupa, you kick us off. What do you want to see in it?
So first up, unsurprisingly, I'm going to go for the 1992 Ford Explorer XLT, otherwise known as the tour vehicle in Jurassic Park.
Nice.
Good choice.
This is the one. This is not the gas-powered Jeep.
Okay.
That they have to get later on.
No.
The vets have. This is the one that's on the tracks that takes the people around the park. It's the one with the night vision goggles in the back.
Yeah.
And come on.
There's a lot of cool things.
I reckon that would be like it's got a big hitbox, quite a big stocky vehicle.
Yeah.
It's not very low down like this and the other, so maybe good in defense.
Yeah.
Also, I think when you press boost, I want like a double helix coming out of the back.
Oh yeah.
With bits of DNA flying off the place.
Nice.
That's cool.
You know, a fundamental amino
And maybe
acid
like
splintering off.
Maybe like a
get a bit of adenine in the face.
Like as you're going down the field.
That's got to be the goal, though, right?
No, well, I there is music that plays when you're doing that, so you could do dun dun
for the trail.
Yeah, for
Is
the
that the
trail.
type of
The
when you
music
boost,
doesn't come
yeah.
there, and when you score, maybe just a big roar.
I don't know. I think I'd rather have the like as you score.
Well, that's boost.
But that's too long though.
Yeah.
Like I think you want that as you're going for the
circles,
shot, and then when you hit it, then it's like the
Because
the thing when you score, you want it like a punctuation mark.
You know, it'd be cool as well if custom cars were able to change some of the messages you had. So instead of like "what a save," you could write like "where's the goat." Where's the goat?
Nice.
Like, that'd be quite cool, right? For
also,
Jurassic
like
Park
you know
one?
when you get the update, you know when you get like the decals, you could have like T-Rex damage for the decals.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good.
Also fun if they had like a Jurassic Park map, which is like inside the cage.
Yeah.
Like that would be cool. And then instead of the ball you hit, it's the gyrosphere with two children inside, and you smash them.
Very good.
Also
Smash
because
the
like in
children.
the side, like if it was like on the sides of the level are kind of the electrical wire, but there's holes in the wall, so you could like jump out and go down, and you're out of the game for like a few
And a
seconds.
Dilophosaurus might get you.
Ooh, spit in your eye.
That is good. Rory,
Big
what's your
DLC.
first one? I think that's really good. I want a Jurassic Park vehicle. Let's go.
My first one is the Ghost from Halo. Now they already have on the Xbox One, they have the Warthog from Halo, which I thought that was kind of a boring choice because I mean the Warthog's a cool car, but it's basically
But the
just
Ghost
like
from Halo, that's different.
well, it's just like do you know what the Ghost from Halo looks like?
I don't think so.
One of them is a Jeep, and one of them is like a purple spaceship with like infinite boost.
yeah.
Like that thing's insane. It's got like little wings. It looks like the head of a hammerhead shark. It's insane. Like if you could have that, it's got a bit more of a wider front, so you can like kind of chip the ball off the sides.
It's got like little fins on it.
It's got fins essentially,
clip
and then
it
like
on.
the boost would be perfect. Like it already kind of exists as a Rocket League car. I think that'd be amazing. And plus, you can like get up and then do the little like barrel rolls and stuff. I've got a lot of experiences in
What would you
Ghosts.
have for all the stuff that he said for his?
Oh, well, like the boost already kind of exists because it already has a boost, and it's just like the cool purple light trails.
Basically, I'm not going to think about this anymore.
Yeah,
I'm just going to describe the thing down the
I'm
road.
done.
All right, well, I'll tell you my first one
Halo.
then.
Yeah.
The Homer. It's the
That's a good
car
choice.
built by Homer Simpson for Herb Powell and Powell Motors, which I only found out is a parody of a real disastrous car.
Car design, really?
Yeah. So Ford built a car called the Edsel, which was apparently like one of the biggest disasters ever.
Would it actually have bubble compartments?
It didn't.
All you ever hear about is
so,
the T
yeah.
model.
Yeah.
Banging on about it. You don't hear about all the disasters, do you?
So you get the two bubble domes in it. That's really, really good.
I wonder will that affect the ball? Would you get a clean hit with that?
No,
Might
never.
ricochet between them.
Oh, no.
You've just gone
you'd be- I
for
think
fan
you'd be
service
alright.
over functionality with this one. I don't see
How
the, I don't see the Homer
how
being very
dare you.
practical.
It's not even practical in Rocket League.
An engine that makes you think the world is coming to an end, right? But for the goal noise, in Celeb, you get the goal noise is La Cucaracha coming from all three of its horns. So it's really, really loud. And the trail noise, because I like sort of, for this one, it's a subtle trail noise. And it's just, when the noise when Homer's like coming down, it's like angels going, oh. So it'll be that as it goes. And also, when the other team scores, you can hear Homer from the other side saying his trademark noise of disappointment. Boo. That's right. That's what he says all the time, isn't it?
beat me to
Boo.
it.
Boo, he says when something goes wrong. Boo. So that's my first
Pass
choice.
me a cheese pasty, as we always love. Boo.
Oh, you dropped it on the carpet.
Yeah.
Boo. What's your second one?
My second one is a Volvo T240 GL Estate. Do you know what this vehicle is?
No.
You know what this vehicle is?
Oh, I do because it's written on the thing. Sorry.
It's the car Madeline drives in Jonathan Creek. In the first use of Jonathan Creek.
What's so
the
special about
estate
this?
car. Oh, amazing. There's one of those on my street.
This is actually not my official response, but it's my jerky one. But I think you like it, so I'm going to go with it.
Yeah.
When she drives it, it plays Dance Macabre.
Oh, yes.
What is this car? Why is it so special?
No, I'm going to do my real one. I'll do my real one.
What?
There's not much more to go with that. Ecto 1.
Okay.
1959 Cadillac. When you use boost, there's two options on this.
Do you know what? Because it says Ecto 1 down there.
Yeah.
So that's why you said, do you know what car that was? And in my head, I was like, no. But then also at the same time, I was like, that doesn't sound like what Ecto 1 is.
No, what? A Volvo Estate? Yeah. With the Ecto 1 in Rocket League, I was thinking two options for boost, and then you need to advise me here.
Okay.
So one, slime. While
They've already got
interesting, they've
slime.
already got slime. And actually, I was thinking about it, makes no logical sense.
No.
Why would the car be, excreting slime?
Oh, but Simon drives the ar in the second one.
Does he?
Yeah.
Basing this mainly on the first movie. I don't want to.
Of course.
I don't want to acknowledge.
Let's
the
not get
second.
bogged down with sequels.
Definitely not one with
Second
those
one.
bloody women in, right?
Oh.
Sexist.
Sexist. How can I hate a Ghostbuster? My mum is one. So the other stream is like basically a proton stream.
yeah, that's what I was going to go for.
And that comes out, and then when you hit it into the goal, it shouts Ghostbusters, and you see
a bit on the nose, really.
Right,
But,
go with
come
me,
on.
guys. Expand your mind. It says Ghostbusters.
What kind of subtlety do you want from this?
Gav can score it, it'll go, the Homer.
But no, I'm sorry, that isn't a thing associated with that vehicle. In
it's
Ghostbusters, they do go Ghostbusters.
It does.
That is a thing.
Okay.
I haven't just kind of gone. Can we say the name of the thing, please?
Yeah. I think...
And wait, well, let's
sorry,
finish.
yeah.
And then you see the symbol of the ghost and the kind of the badge around it
Yeah.
in fire.
I think for the trail, it should be... Ghostbusters.
Yeah, could be.
Like music with the trail?
That'd be
yeah.
amazing.
What about just ghosts? Like ghosts as a ghost trail. Like you're driving and like ghosts are coming out.
But that means they're crap. They've like caught those and they're just falling out of the back.
What
No,
happens?
Egon. There's loads of them.
Maybe there's too many.
No.
What's your second one? I like that. That's got to be coming. Both of yours ones will definitely happen.
And Madeline's Volvo.
Possibly not that one.
That's
the DeLorean was my dream car and it's already in there and I really love that one.
Okay.
So
Do you know what?
So you haven't done another one.
The
So,
eight-
no,
the-
I haven't done another
I haven't
one.
thought about this, but the A-Team van is pretty much the van that's in it, isn't
Also,
it?
the
Yeah.
Scooby-Doo van.
Scooby-Doo van, yeah.
that's just a
Mystery
van.
Machine.
That could be a
Well, it's
skin,
just a van,
I guess.
but-
Just a van.
Yeah.
Go on.
Cat Bus from My Neighbor Totoro. That'd
that's
be amazing.
nice.
Such an iconic figure from
Such
Studio
an
Ghibli's films.
iconic cat bus.
Such an iconic.
It'd be amazing.
bus.
So they don't really change too much in terms of the mechanics when like a car comes along. For like the DeLorean, they
I
have a
love how
little
your
touch
like
where it's
framing
like,
is. If you've really thought, I wouldn't really change
Well,
much.
look,
basically
the
everything you know
DeLorean-
about it is what it is. Anyway,
the
who's next?
DeLorean, like they've made it so it's not just a car. Like when you're flying, if you're airborne for long enough, the wheels tuck
yeah,
in.
it's
Yeah,
nice
so it's like
little
nice little
animation.
touches.
Oh,
Like the car's
yeah,
actually
yeah,
in it.
yeah.
Oh, not so smart anymore. Oh, you Gav, Christ. So For the cat bus, you
That's
could
the closest I've ever heard you come into swearing.
I heard him swear today, actually. Right at
He
the
didn't
end
say
of
fudge.
Right at the end. No, right at the end of the Dark Souls thing. You
feel
said,
like some
you
stuff
said,
has slipped down.
You said
Dark
the
Souls.
F word.
No, I didn't.
You absolutely
Nah.
did. Yeah, I didn't want to say it.
Never.
Look forward to that next
Oh.
week.
Yeah, the cat bus. Like it could be like moving on all. It's like it has like 12 legs. Imagine that.
That's
like,
a lot of
roaming.
extra animation to be doing.
It can't be.
Animating like
I don't know a lot about video
the
production, but,
coding
like,
background can't be.
What? Forward and back. That's not that crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, it can have it has the crazy like beam headlights that could like flash, you know, when you're using your boost.
Yeah.
It would be amazing. Imagine that like roaming around the field. It would be so great.
That would be really good. Okay, my other one then is a 1917 Dodge Charger RT, as driven by the one and only Dominic Toretto in the Fast and the Furious franchise. It's a lovely car. Point number one.
Oh my God.
Lovely.
Yeah.
That's not that special though, is it? It's just a car.
No, but listen to all this.
Listen to
all this stuff, though, right?
Yeah, just tick that.
You have to sell this to me.
The goal noise is Vin Diesel whispering, "Family," but it like booms all the way around the
Who's
stadium.
buying this?
Listen, me.
That's what I'm afraid of.
What-
That you've
what-
marketed
okay.
this.
Okay.
So
What's the trail?
The noise, I haven't told you, hang on. But also celeb, when the goal goes in, like a puff of white smoke comes from there, and it's Vin Diesel and Paul Walker hugging. That happens every time you score. And
Every time.
I might not score.
every time. Every time.
A bit strange.
It's not going to get old because
Family.
family. That's exactly right.
Family can't get
Family
old.
don't die.
And the trail noise is the chorus from that song I just sent you before we came in here for Wiz Khalifa featuring Charlie Puth, "See You Again," which I think is a brilliant song.
That's terrible.
It's
It's
a
just
brilliant
terrible.
song.
It's just terrible.
It should have been nominated for an Oscar.
No, it should not have.
I think, yeah. I think the only reason it wasn't nominated for an Oscar in the best song is because then they would have seen that and gone, oh shit, we need to put all the Oscars on this one, like Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor, Best Supporting. How is Paul Walker not getting Best Supporting Actor? That's what we should have done for the Oscars thing.
Well, you before this podcast, you insisted that me and Dan both listen to this song
Yeah.
in preparation.
It's a good song.
I did listen to it, and I did not think it was a good song.
1.5 billion people have listened to
1.5
it.
billion people can't be wrong.
I knew you were going to bring this up, so I actually did a little bit of research on the people who are watching this video. So I wrote down some of the top comments on the video, just to let you know of the hardcore fans who really enjoy
bet
this.
they're really-
Rory, do you see he covers up half his notepad? So
Yeah,
it looks
I
like
was
he's done no
sneaky.
research.
Yeah.
And then he moves the running
Oh,
order.
no.
Because I've done
way.
this before, and he's peeked at it and ruined my quizzes.
Oh, sorry.
All right, so
My
these are some of the
quizzes.
top comments
My quizzes.
on that video. Who listened to this song 2016?
Me.
Who listened to this song March 2016? We must make this song more famous than Gangnam Style, and we will take this so fast if we can see this video more.
Yeah.
And my personal favorite,
We need to see this video more.
see you again, Paul Walker. We'll miss you for all the days we have you. Thanks to you, you're in Fast and Furious storyline.
That's...
These aren't sentences.
It's not much of a
These are
quiz.
not sentences. That is the
Well,
billion people.
that's the
who have
first time
enjoyed.
YouTube comments have ever made me cry. So, well done.
Beautiful.
Well done. But those are the vehicles we want to see in Rocket League. So make sure that happens, please. So now we move on. We've got the good and the bad this week.
Yeah.
They are titled Witchy 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 for good.
Oi,
Oi 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 for the bad.
Jump the gun there.
Because we have seen a film called The Witch.
You still see Witch?
That's what you just said.
Was it?
Basically, if you, for 4 people who like these jokes, and have seen The Office.
Us three and Dale editing it.
Yeah.
He's cracking
But
up.
basically, we watch
lads.
we watch a lot of The Office, and Chris Finch, who is in
Bloody good rep.
who is
Sorry,
in The
we need
Office.
to- we need to reel this back.
You gotta stop this. Otherwise, we're never going to get through this. Is in The Witch. So The Witch is sort of like an old school type horror, and Chris Finch. I can't remember his
Ralph
fucking
Ineson.
name. Oh, that's it. Yeah, Ralph. Ralph
Ineson.
Yeah, bloody good actor. He's
Good.
in The Witch.
Playing a Puritan.
And this is the thing, The Witch, right? Because we talk about The
Stop
Office.
saying The
Witch. we talk about The Office quite a lot, and The Witch is so good. This is it, right? The Witch is such a good film. It makes you completely forget that you're watching Chris Finch from The Office.
Oh,
Do you agree with me?
Yeah. Like the
You just think about the Office quotes.
You were saying that,
that
but what did we do immediately after watching it? We went to the pub and literally rewrote huge episodes of The Office, just
Yeah.
putting witch in
Yeah,
the place of
essentially.
proper nouns.
We made a song for it,
Wait, do you want to sing it?
if I can remember it.
The witch comes for thee.
It was funny when we went to see it because it was during a press screening, and the movie kind of opens with these kind of ambiguous shots, but you hear Chris Finch's voice.
Yeah.
And me and Dan both just turned to each other and we were like, Finchy.
Yeah, because you sat in between me and Rory, and you
Yeah.
like went down to like put down your water,
And we
me
just
and Rory
leaned
stood
back.
there and went,
It's because I have respect for cinema.
And then
Yeah.
So I just put my water down.
and then by the end of it, we were horrified. I was petrified.
The best
I
thing
was
about
like,
it is we knew what it was about.
I didn't even know it was a horror.
But I said to you, do you want to come see Finchy's film with us? And you did. But
I felt-
to be fair,
a
it's
split opinion.
It's not an easy watch, but it is a brilliant. I think it's really,
So
really good.
I think one of the things to talk about this is it's really split opinion. A lot of it's been shown at film festivals. It was shown
Yeah.
at Sundance, and it's been received pretty warmly amongst film critics and film critics who really like horror.
Yeah.
And I think people have started to see it now in the US at advanced screenings.
Yeah.
And a lot of the public popular response has been quite down on it.
Yeah.
And I think partly that might be due to the trailer that really does position it as more like a Platinum
Unfortunately,
Dunes
yeah.
or a Blumhouse horror film. But you go in and the kind of the tone and the pace of it,
Yeah.
or it's more like Rosemary's Baby
Yeah.
or The Shining in terms of how it elicits horror.
Yeah.
It isn't kind of, jump scares or anything like
It's
that.
hard. I mean,
It's a hard watch. It's a
there are
grueling watch.
There are a couple of jump scares in it, but the thing that I like about it, they're like the jump scares are just like noise based, or like also like the switch from dark to light.
Yeah.
Like
a
the
lot
switch
of
from dark-
very hard cuts.
Really
that
hard
really,
cuts.
like,
But
strike
no
the senses.
kind of like
Oh,
person gonna go. They're going. Oh, when it went from dark to white. Yeah,
No,
that sort of thing.
That sort of thing, yeah. Where like, there's not like witches running around going.
Boo.
That.
I shit myself when they turn that light on.
Yeah, but that's what it is though. Like going from like silence
You joke,
to
but
noise or something like
There
that.
was like
is
a
lot.
cut to just a noise, like wood cut.
Yeah, and,
that everyone in the cinema like
Yeah.
rose
That's straight
2
out.
inches.
But I think a lot of people would find that like some people would find that disappointing that there's not a thing at the end of that. And William Friedkin does that loads in The Exorcist. There's the opening scene, which is like the burning light of the Middle East where they're excavating Pazuzu. And then there's another shot where she's like going through the attic and there's, it's deathly quiet and it's black. And then the candle suddenly combusts and there's like this bright flash of light.
I think, like, to be fair, it was kind of missold to me as well going in, because like Chris Tilley saw it and he saw it at this thing called Fantastic Fest, which sounds amazing. This
Sounds
festival.
fantastic.
It's but it sounds like it's like this really sort of celebration of like horror and cult movies and stuff like that. It sounds like a really, really good festival. And he said there's a character in the film which is a goat called Black Phillip. And he said Black Phillip was basically like the thing at the festival that everyone was sort of making jokes about. And so when I went in, I thought it was going to be not like a fun horror movie, but I didn't think...
A bit culty or something.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be sort of like a really old-fashioned folk tale, which is what it is. And it, like,
That's a really interesting like time period for a horror film. If you're interested in like witch trials and like that sort
But what
of
I think is
old...
good about it, there's lots of films that are about like Salem witch trials, and throughout the movie, there's a degree of ambiguity that is there an actual witch here, or is it these people as their kind of moral or religious panic, and they're turning on each other and imagining the witch?
Yeah.
This is not a spoiler. Right at the beginning of The Witch, you know there's a witch. You see the witch. She looks very supernatural. They dispense with that ambiguity from the get-go. Something supernatural is at work here. But the ambiguity creeps back in when the family begin to turn on each other, and you're not really sure who is actually the agent of darkness.
Yeah, it's really odd as well, because I thought that I'd missed... I think we talked about this actually in the pub when we were like, we thought we'd missed something really big right at the top.
Yeah, at the start,
We
some of
should
the
be really
exposition.
careful now.
Yeah. We
For
thought
spoilers.
we thought we missed something, but it turned out we hadn't. Like, we hadn't missed anything at all. But it's kind of that kind of ambiguity is not, but as you say, not like
it is
it a
like,
witch,
and
is
that
it
is
not
not
a witch?
spoiling me
Yeah.
saying that. Like, it's one of the opening shots in the movie.
Yeah.
it's in the trailers as well.
Yeah.
You know, the intrigue here doesn't. It's not like those other witch films where it's
No.
like, is there something supernatural at work? Is there not?
Yeah.
It gets rid of that at the beginning, and it's more kind of the intrigue that comes from the family setup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's a really, really interesting film. It's one of these things that keeps happening with a lot of films recently too. That I watch it, I enjoy it, I'll never watch it again.
I think I would watch that again because I think having certain pieces of information, and it's quite short, rewatching might be an interesting experience. Like watching Babadook again is an interesting experience,
Yeah.
depending
Yeah.
on your interpretation of that movie.
Yeah.
I think that
Like you kind of piecing together the clues in different ways.
I think Babadook's a bit different from
Oh, is it?
the witch because like I feel like the witch was so like even the editing and the style of it was so insulting to my senses.
Yeah.
It was kind of designed that way that I was always on edge.
Yeah.
Whereas like the Babadook, there were times where the tension was kind of dropped a bit, but I felt like with the witch, like there was always something happening, or you thought something was going to happen. Like every like mundane task was cut in like quite a malicious way. You always feel like something's not quite right. I don't know if I'd want to watch that again.
Yeah.
I think this.
But I loved watching
I
the
think
first
the Babadook has a. Have you seen the Babadook?
Yeah.
I think it has a much darker ending than if you watch it again. I think.
Yeah.
I'm going to say a spoiler for the Babadook now. It's not a spoiler. It's only if I'm right with my theory. But
Okay.
my interpretation is, I think she kills her son at the end.
Oh,
Like they're in the garden, she's cradling him, and it is a shot that is reminiscent of the end of The Innocents, which is a adaptation of Henry James's Turn of the Screw. And an interpretation at the end of the movie is she's like hugging her ward Miles.
Yeah.
And one interpretation of that novella is at the end she's hugging him so tight she's strangling him.
Right.
And the last shot of the Babadook is she isn't over her postnatal depression, and the camera pans up. And she's tugging him. If you watch it again, it looks more sinister on second watching.
I think now that you're saying it, yeah.
That she, and the shot ends with him out of shot, like just
Yeah.
the top of his head, if I remember correctly. So I think she's maybe, you can interpret it as she's killing him
she
at the
Lennied
end.
him.
I might watch that again, yeah, because I watched it on Christmas Day 2014 with my mum. I don't know why.
Is that how old that is?
I don't know why we watched it on Christmas Day, but yeah, I didn't watch
Bit of fun,
it again.
innit?
Just a bit of fun,
Was
mate.
was your mum like hugging you?
Yeah,
Like,
she was.
tight?
Gav, come over here, mate.
Yeah. No, Bobby.
All right, we talked about it a little bit. Dark Souls. That was the first one, though. What about
was.
Dark Souls 3, Rory?
Yeah, Sunday I got a chance to play a 20-minute demo of Dark Souls 3, and I thought, you know what, this is no problem. This was a public event. I've been playing Dark Souls 1 all week. I've got this down. It's fine. I'm ready to go in front of all these people and just blast it out.
Were you like, hey, guys, it's Rory from IGN here.
I was
I'm
like,
going
hey.
to take down some bosses in Dark
He's
Souls.
going to do a speed run.
Speed
Gather
run.
around, nerds. I'm gonna tackle
Is it like
these skeletons.
there's a Dark Souls kill screen coming up?
I got my ass destroyed. I got killed
And then-
In front of
so
people
bad.
as well.
In front
of
of
people, and then how did Dark Souls go?
hey, I got beat really, really bad for 10 minutes, and then my demo crashed. So
Oh, it's bloody broken.
the guy came around, and I was like, "Oh man, oh my progress, oh the progress."
Oh,
I was
no,
right. I was
Were you
the
like,
boss.
oh, flights are shit on that?
Sony had to reset it, which put me right back to the start, and I just struggled through everything again until he was like, "All right, time up," and I was at the first
no.
fireplace
Fireplace.
or a fire campfire
bonfire.
Thank
Jesus
you. I was at the first
Christ. That was
bonfire.
the first
I've
fireplace.
learned nothing.
Yeah.
So that was horribly embarrassing. And then I thought I could just kind of like slink away because there were people. If you're waiting in line, you could watch everyone play.
Oh, God.
So I was
hate that.
like, I'm just gonna duck out now because I had been watching people play before me, and they had like got to the boss. You can reach the boss in the demo, and I had obviously got nowhere near it. So I was on the end. I was like, I'm just gonna slink away. And one of the staff who was working the booth was like, "Nice try, Rory." Turned out he listens to the podcast, and he knew me from IGN. And he
Probably,
was-
Probably
probably
he was
listen
like,
to this. Probably listen to this of you slagging him off.
He was like,
really,
he
really
was
embarrassing.
rubbish. He
And I was like,
rubbish.
Psh,
No,
whatever.
he was rubbish.
whatever, it's fine.
But that's your first impressions.
That game is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I know we've been playing a lot of 1, and it's come a long way since
and
then.
like
But
people
like,
are down on 1. Like it's a pretty small team, relatively speaking. And
Yeah.
1, like while it has great art direction, like especially on PS3, like textures could be better. There's loads
Yeah.
of things that could be better, like fire and water effects, like you always keep picking up on.
yeah. But I mean, like this one looks incredible. Like some of the graphics, and it was the same kind of things. I was at a spot where there was like a dragon over one of the the tower bits, and he was coming down, like dipping and breathing all the fire onto the path, and it's just like it was some of the same
that's a really
experiences
old
I feel like
demo.
I've had.
Yeah,
but I
definitely.
was
Like
this is
Miyazaki likes putting a dragon at the opening of his games.
Yeah.
Just like
It's cool.
it's like a
yeah.
thing, like a
Yeah.
calling card. So now that we've played quite a lot of 1, do you think you're going to go play 3?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really? Like
Absolutely,
you're
yeah.
up for it?
I think it's weird when we're doing it for work because it's such a like focused thing.
Yeah,
Like
it's
play
been more
for an hour,
pressured
play
as
for
well.
2
Yeah.
hours, like see this how far we can get. But like some of the things, like it's just a game that I haven't experienced before. Like I've never experienced a game that takes so long to master, and then as soon as you think you've got it, you don't have it.
Yeah.
I think I'll definitely play 3.
Awesome.
Definitely play 3.
Amazing.
Bit of co-op. Going on.
Absolutely.
You've played quite a lot of it, haven't you?
Yeah, I went to Germany and played for 4 hours in a church.
That's fitting.
I don't know why it was in a church, really. It wasn't even a church that looked like
Just
a church.
come
that
to
would be
your
in a
office, I'll
Dark-
play
If this
here.
church was in Dark Souls, you'd be like,
Boring.
oh, that's a bit weird, isn't it? A little local church. But it was really good. I think it's really good. I think some people, and rightly, Dark Souls 2 came out and Miyazaki wasn't involved. He was off doing Bloodborne. And it does feel familiar that we've been having these experiences almost like in an annual form, like if you count Bloodborne as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
But, without Dark Souls 2, maybe you wouldn't have got Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 2 sold really well, and
Yeah.
it kept, it proved that
Kept it
this
alive.
was like a viable thing, that people were really into these games and
Yeah. Sure.
kept the fire going, if you were to use that terminology. And 3 is great, and if you like Dark Souls 1, and like people loved the first
Yeah.
one, and you like the lore, which is, I think, one of my favorite things about that game. And I think once we finish, there's a video series I'll send you to where you can learn about the characters that I think will really enhance your enjoyment of the game retroactively. 2 is very disconnected, and for ages people have poured time into trying to link Dark Souls 2 back to Dark
Yeah.
Souls 1. It's very hard to do.
Yeah.
I think it's purposefully vague, the connections, whereas 3 has it has recurring characters.
Yeah.
And I think you're going to get kind of answers for certain things that happen in Dark Souls 1,
Yeah.
which will be immensely satisfying because people have been puzzling over certain things for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I think because I didn't get that far with Bloodborne. And I wish I got a bit further with it, but lots of stuff ended up happening, so I just stopped playing it. But I think sitting and watching Rory play Dark Souls 1 for so long, like
You thought, well, crap, if he can do it, then
no, I don't think
Okay.
that. But I think like to actually, it makes you realize like to actually get far in those games is actually a really good feat, and if you can do that, then it's quite
Yeah.
a big challenge. So I think like when Dark Souls 3 came out, I actually might, because I was thinking I was feeling bad about going to that and not really giving Bloodborne like as much, because I really loved that game.
So
but
the bit like you checked out Bloodborne is kind of, I think, comparable to the bit that we nearly checked. We're not going to check out Dark Souls because we're playing
Not
it for a
allowed.
work thing.
Yeah.
But like the Undead Burg, all that kind of very drab
yeah,
zombies with like crap armor. It's like the most boring part of that game.
Yeah.
That's kind of that initial part of Bloodborne.
right, okay,
And once you get past that, and once we get past this bit in Dark Souls, there's so many weird things in that game, so
Yeah.
many interesting locations. And once you get there, you're
Yeah.
like, this is awesome. Because by the time you get there, you've got better equipment, you've got the basics, you can kind of handle yourself.
Yeah.
And the game kind of blossoms, and you're like, oh my God, this is awesome. There's so many cool places to explore
Yeah.
and things to do and see. And sometimes when you get stuck on one area, you might be able to go and do a bit somewhere
Yeah.
else.
Well, that's why it was kind of cool when we were playing the first one, where it's like I have no idea where I'm going, so I'm like in between episodes, like just venturing off into like little areas, and I'm running into areas that have like, what was it, crystal golems?
Yeah.
like these giant rock guys that like throw crystals
And
at
snakes.
you.
Yeah.
The snakes going through the forest, and you have these trees that come, and like it's. And if you've been stuck fighting zombie skeletons for like 2 hours, like seeing these
Yeah.
other creatures in this other part of
Yeah.
the world, it's just really cool.
And we're gonna see some amazing places. And I think Dark Souls 3 feels really exciting. Like if you like Dark Souls, there's some people who listen to this podcast, they're mentioning characters that you only ever heard of in the first game, and you're like,
Yeah.
will we actually get to see some of these places like
Yeah.
Kareem or Vinheim? These are like iconic locations that are only alluded to in the first game.
Yeah.
And it feels like you might be able to go into some of them in part 3.
and it's out soon. When's it out? Like April,
Beginning
right?
of April. It's out in Japan in like a couple of weeks. So it's a bit worrying. Like there'll probably be a lot of spoilers circulating, a lot of like footage you won't want to see.
Yeah.
But beginning of April, it's out.
That's annoying. Okay, Rory, you've written a late one into the run order. Esports are weird and awesome.
Yeah. I went to.
Who's that?
Go talk about it, bro.
Yeah. I went to an esports event. So this was, I've written it down here because I forgot the name. It was the Call of Duty World League Challenge Tournament. So essentially what this is, it's a tournament that's open to esports teams in the public in the UK and Europe to come and compete. And then they also have some professional teams compete. Now, like, we got to go to Berlin for Worlds, which was, that's like the other side of the spectrum in terms of esports events. That was mental. That was a huge stadium, hundreds of thousands of people coming from all over the world.
That's League of Legends, isn't it?
That's League of Legends, which is one of the bigger ones.
Has to stop.
That's one of the things I love about esports is like you never like all the events are so different. So I didn't really know what to expect for this one. Obviously, it's an event that's open to the public, so it might be like a little more casual.
Yeah.
It was at the PC Gamer event, and you had to go down into the basement to get to it. This I can only describe it as like the Fight Club of esports. You went round, and there was just like circles of people over gamers' shoulders, like screaming abuse at like the other team, like everyone getting all riled up.
Oh wow!
It was crazy. It was so hectic. Like people, I mean, they were giving away free rock stars, which didn't help anything.
Yeah.
Everyone was so jacked up. But like,
I bet you were loving it.
Oh yeah, I had like 4. It was amazing.
A couple of years ago, I went to
Just shouting at people.
It was crazy.
in like 2013, 2014.
Yeah.
I went to the Call of Duty World Championships out in LA. And that was a little bit more control because you had some public bits, but then you also had like there's a lot of stuff like behind closed doors, but then the main match was where like there was an audience and stuff like that. So you never really had like public and that shouting at people.
Yeah, so it was quite similar. As I said, there's some pro teams there. I think they had like Epsilon and Infused. So they were the ones who...
Always named really shit things.
What do you mean? That's cool.
They are.
Epsilon.
Epsilon. It sounds like people on The Apprentice.
Yeah.
You should hear...
Sounds like drinks. Sounds like energy. Shit names for energy
Yeah, well,
drinks.
that's why
What would you
I love
call
them
your
so
much.
esports team then?
The Dragons.
Oh, the Dragons!
The
The Welsh Dragons!
The Dragons.
Oh, who didn't see that coming?
I don't know what.
Jesus.
I
The
don't know.
rarebits.
The rarebits. Ooh. But there's no
The
like
cheesy rarebits.
There's not really that many funny names.
There is a reasonably good League of Legends team at the minute called Unicorns of Love,
Okay, that's funny.
and they're doing pretty good.
That's good.
But then, yeah, it's usually just like
But then,
Immortals.
that's not a clever name, is it?
Well, either is the Dragons.
Yeah, I know that, but I was on the spot.
You have me against the wall. Is that a name? So the pro teams were playing in a much more like structured, like live streaming on Twitch sort of event. But then obviously all the public teams were kind of like out and about. You could like just go stand behind whichever team you wanted and check it out. One of the other cool things was
Shouting clutch a lot. That's a lot. That's a big thing at Call of Duty. Clutch.
What does
well,
that mean?
if it's
Fucking no idea.
it's like if you like
Absolutely no idea.
if you make like a
Clutch.
big, if you make like a big like saving play, like it's clutch play.
I thought it was like 2v1. I thought that was clutch.
Oh,
What's
you gotta learn your phrases.
what's 2v
Ganked as
what's-
well. That's
what's
a
2v1?
esports phrase. What a 2v1? I don't know.
Well,
Unfair.
I think we can work out what 2v1 means.
No. But not that. There's a word for 2v1. I thought it was. I thought it was clutch. Clutch play 2v1.
I don't think
Bummed.
so.
I don't know.
I don't think so. The other cool thing was because it was an event that was open to the public, you had these just teams that had like come over for the event, but they were just like their own self-funded teams. So you had groups of people who had made their own like team jackets,
Like Spider-Man.
Pin pals.
like the equivalent would be like dodgeball. So you know, like all these
Okay,
like
right,
weird
yeah.
kooky teams from all over, and they're all got like the cobras, like they're all
Yeah.
jackets. So they're all walking around the event in their like full like esports tracksuit jackets, and they just
Amazing.
like that's just their fun thing. They are their own little esports team, and they can go to events and stuff. So it was cool, like seeing some of the guys who don't like make it too far get a chance to come to these events and compete
Yeah.
as well. Yeah, it was a really cool experience.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Better or worse than League of Legends?
I prefer League of Legends over Call of Duty, but it definitely was one of the more interesting FPS esports tournaments I've been to.
I think with Call of Duty, if you're not into esports
Yeah.
and you want to watch an esport, watching Call of Duty is easier than watching League of Legends because it's just like the person who is alive,
Yeah, and essentially like
and you can follow a man with a gun rather than
You know what I would absolutely... I'm going to watch the hell out of?
What?
Rocket League esports.
Oh
yeah. Are we covering that? Are we doing any
Well,
coverage on
Twitch
that?
has signed a deal with Rocket League, haven't they? They're going to
Really?
start doing a big tournament thingy.
Oh, awesome.
We should
absolutely
do
watching
some
that.
stuff on
Yeah.
that. That'd be cool.
Plus, it's not too long as well.
All right, I'll go. Send me out. Fine. You twisted my arm.
Oh,
I'll
compete.
go.
Oh, the
I'll go to
rabbits.
LA. I'll do the coverage. It's fine.
Oh, well, guys, I've had some lots of witchy equals good things. Now, before we get on to the oi, the bad things, Serious time, guys, because it's time for.
Can I just interrupt you before you do this?
Yeah.
Oh, you do that bit.
Keyword countdown.
Sorry, I meant to let you do that bit. A bit of feedback from Kevin in Manchester.
Oh, don't have somebody
He
slagging
says,
off because
I hate
I've got to go
keyword
on after
countdown.
this.
What is this?
Oh.
No. No.
My heart sank then.
Kevin says, I am loving the IMDb game. Not enough to remember it's called.
Keyword countdown.
Remember it?
Do you know what?
Because the theme song changes every single week. That's why.
you know
There's
what?
no branding
Be
here. There's no
consistent.
branding.
Do you know-
Exactly.
Do you know what I was belting out the other day when I was setting up in here in the studio? Was keyword countdown to the tune of The Who's Teenage Wasteland. Keyword countdown.
That's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Only
Stop,
keyword
stop.
countdown.
Copyright flags
Bum,
are
bum,
popping up
bum.
all over this place.
They've all counted. Don't worry about that. The first bit. Remember me for my first lyrics.
We're out here in the field, and all we have is this pissing game. Right, okay, let me finish. Kevin,
If someone's really good at music, make that.
let
Make that a jingle.
Let this man compliment you.
Go on, Kevin.
And it's great to play along in my head during the commute. Distracts me from the emotionless robot-style world the tram at 7 a.m. becomes. He's in Manchester. Thanks, Kevin.
Oh, 7
Awesome.
a.m. commutes. That sucks.
I've had quite a few tweets from people going they like to play along. Also, a tweet from someone who sent me a bunch because he was like, "It's too easy,
Right, come on.
too easy." So
Add him onto the table. See how he does.
Ooh.
Yeah, calling you out like that.
At the moment, Chris
I
Tilly.
bet his name's Steven as well.
Chris Tilly is the top. I believe you may be able to take over him.
But I've played more. I think that isn't that the
It's my
flaw in the
s-
scoring system?
It's only your second game.
It has to be like
But you're doing
average.
well. You're doing well. Yeah, but I'll work it out.
I don't think this is.
I don't-
Yeah. I don't think
I'm
it's
fine.
right.
I'm just-
Right,
I'm
just-
let's just come on.
Just worry about the game at hand.
Come on, we got a meeting at 4.
Let's go.
Film number 1.
Do we?
High school.
High School Musical.
Terrorist. Person in car
You're going
trunk.
too fast. Way too fast.
Person in what?
Car trunk. Parking lot.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Famous song. Fighting over a girl.
I don't think I've ever seen this movie.
Yes, you have.
I don't think so.
Terrorist.
Reference to Darth Vader.
We need
Back
to
to
talk
the
about
future.
Kevin.
Yay!
I have.
Hey,
It turned out.
Can I just point out,
turned out
Back
I've
to the
seen this
Future, we
film.
need to talk about Kevin. A little bit.
That's it. I
different.
hadn't seen that one.
Terrorist, yeah. Oh, God,
The other one,
That's
so
like 20
reference, you had it reference to Darth Vader. Waking up in strange surroundings. Year 1955. Time travel.
I got a lot of points then.
Yeah,
Right?
4.
Ah,
That's good.
Could be more.
Don't worry about it.
could be worse.
Film number 2.
I'm terrible.
Could be
at
we
this.
need to
Alright.
talk about Kevin. I need to write you a theme so you stop making noises.
Baby.
Baby's Day Out.
Look who's talking.
It's a great movie.
American Ambassador.
American
The
Baby.
Omen.
Oh, god damn it. I've never seen The Omen.
Absolutely nailed it.
How's
You
that
just said
fair?
you were shit at this.
I'm good when it's The Omen.
But we need to talk about Kevin.
Shit unless open.
Oh, you don't know how often I've said that in life.
So that's 2 points. No, 8 points for Krupa there.
Gav's like-
No, 9 points for Krupa there.
You don't understand the scoring
Yes, I do.
system.
Yes, I do. 9 points.
I don't reckon he's writing this
mental.
down.
I am. I've got a spreadsheet.
Okay. Cool.
I think you write these down on a page and burn it. I think you just made up everything.
The other clues, if you want to play along, lifting mail in air, switched at birth,
Decapitation.
best original score winner, Rottweiler, suicide by hanging, push down the stairs, nanny, the devil.
It's all for you, Damien.
Here we go. Ready? Film number 3. Briefcase full of money. Male pubic hair. Drugged drink.
Male pubic hair.
Ski lift.
Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah! What?
What's the male pubic hair?
Dunno.
Like I know what it is.
Yeah, I've got loads.
Should have my. Yeah.
And it just kind of it goes from my belly button and it builds towards
Yeah,
Alan Partridge.
I've like 5 of them.
Well done, Krupa. 7 points there. The other ones: kicked in the crotch, spitting on a hamburger, urination, defecation, tongue stuck on a pole,
I don't remember seeing this movie. Not
repetition
doing too good here.
in title.
I think I saw the second one, which was really
Oh
bad.
my god.
So Rory, 16 points to 4 at the moment
Yeah, not doing
for
so
this
hot.
week. Film number 4, still all to play for. It's always all to play for because I've designed the scores so
like
well.
QI in it.
So bizarrely.
I just give you a steamy look then. Sharp. Jungle.
George of the Jungle. Jumanji.
Green Beret.
Predator.
Yeah!
Jesus Christ!
Actually fuming then.
I'm gone. I'm out. I'm
Slow
out.
down. You move too fast.
Oh, but the way Gav's designed this game is that it's always to play.
It is always to play.
It is always to play.
Well,
It
yeah.
is always to play when you fucking have a go. The other clues: hostage, terror, helicopter, tough guy, blood, skinned alive, humanoid alien, man versus monster.
You said you're bad at this.
Well, not these ones. Not when
these
it's
ones.
Omen or Predator. You'll never get me. You will never win.
It'll be fun,
Still be
though.
fun though. Ah, you beat me.
Okay, here we go. Last film for this week, then, and the scores are 24-4.
But it's 20 points if I get it in one, right?
Is it?
So just say the first one, but don't talk for a minute, and I'll just ramp off a bunch
All
of
right,
points.
fine.
Yeah, just do the first one. We
Yeah,
both,
yeah.
both get Hail Mary on the top.
Okay.
Yeah, I want Helmer.
Helmet.
Full Metal Jacket.
Scrap.
Oh, no, he's not one.
Ant-Man.
No.
Captain America. Is it a superhero movie?
I'm not telling you.
That's
Give me
not
clues.
how this works.
So film number 5 then. Helmet. Scrap merchant.
Star Wars.
Which Star Wars?
Star Wars Force Awakens.
Yeah.
Oh.
You could have if you just let me guess. I would have got it in one clue. I would have swept him. That's 20.
I would have
Give me 20.
swept him.
That's 20.
I'm not sitting
That's
here.
20, Gav.
right?
That's 20.
I am not sitting here, and the people at home aren't sitting here, and Daniel Cooper's not sitting here, while you just go through every film that's got a
Four
helmet
guesses.
in
Like
it.
I've
Four
said,
guesses,
we've
it took
got
me.
a
It only
meeting
took
at
me.
4. We got a meeting at 4.
Well done.
20 points.
Can't be
9 points for that.
doing this all day.
You did all right. So the other ones,
That's
see,
good.
with this one, I thought I was being really clever. Maybe they are too easy. Maybe that guy who tweeted me was real, because this one.
Well, he was real.
It wasn't a very
This one,
specific bot.
I focused on a very specific part of Force Awakens, so I thought I would get you that way. Number 3, desert, crash landing, thirst,
Oh, you think you could go like Martian?
escape, resistance, abandoned ship, female protagonist, Millennium Falcon.
Too quick for you?
Yeah.
Got it, helmet.
Cooper absolutely nailed that one though.
Well, if
Rory.
you would let me
13 points to I
guess
think 24.
the 20-point round.
So that's good. I think it's very very close to knocking Tilly off the top. Who knows what could
Take
happen?
him
Me or
down.
Dan?
Don't matter. Both. Who knows?
Oi, oi, oi.
Who
If you-
does know?
If you're playing along at home, let us know how you did. Now on to oi oi oi, the bad stuff this week. I'm going to kick things off. We've had a little tiny bit of mention of Jonathan Creek this week. Jonathan Creek is coming back. The last couple of episodes they did in 2014 were some of the worst stuff that's ever been on the BBC, and that's saying something because there's a lot of shit on the BBC.
There is,
And
yeah.
There's
A lot of good stuff as well.
A lot of
good
really
stuff as well.
A lot of
Lot
really
of good stuff.
as
Come on now, hey now.
Come on, lads. But yeah, he's coming back to BBC One. They're filming it this summer, a 90-minute special. Don't know when it's going to be out yet.
Probably, you always put them on like Christmas or Easter.
Put them on, yeah.
It's a Christmassy
New Year's,
show,
New
isn't
Year's
it?
Day or Easter, yeah.
Basically, your Christ holidays.
Yeah. So I think,
2014 isn't even that long ago. Actually, no, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's quite recent.
yeah.
I thought it'd been off air for way longer.
But yeah, and it's going to come back. Unfortunately, Caroline Quentin is not
Still not
returning
coming back.
as yet. It's going to be Sarah Alexander, I think, who plays his wife
Wife,
in it.
yeah.
Yeah. So,
What's the
She's
point?
married to Peter Serafinowicz in real life.
but just let it go, man.
Yeah.
Like, I was watching an episode last night, and I was like, this was so good. Like, there's an episode I watched last night it's like the best episodes of, I think. They're so good that when you're watching, you go, even though I've seen this 20 times, I still can't remember the hook, or like how they actually did this. And that's the mark of a good thing. But then the mark of the bad ones, unfortunately, I think there's more bad episodes of Jonathan Creek than there are good
My
ones.
favourite's when the orangutan did it.
That wasn't a real resolution, was it?
So there's an orangutan that plays. Was it a gorilla?
Gorilla, yeah. Silverback.
Sure, is it gorilla?
Silverback, yeah. But it didn't do it.
They didn't do it.
No. It is involved.
It is involved, isn't it? Yeah.
It is involved.
Anyway,
He didn't pull the trigger,
we're
he
getting
just held
bogged
the gun.
down in
What?
higher primates.
Gorilla.
Like we've been threatening for a while to rank all 31 episodes of the Jonathan Creek.
Now we might as well wait till this is out.
I love the way you say threatening.
Update
Like people,
it with this.
people are begging you not
how
to
about
do it. and
how
you're like,
about we
"We're gonna
rank
do it."
them and then leave a slot at the bottom just to put this one in?
Yeah, for number 32.
Not to prejudge, but
It's going to be 90 minutes, and some of the long ones are actually really, really good. Some of the long ones are awful. Like Trouble at Gallows Gate is terrible. Don't watch that.
right.
The Black Canary, though, probably the best one.
Gav, you know you like to quiz people.
Yeah.
I think it's time you become quizzed.
What are you quizzing me on?
5 other British actors were up for the role of Jonathan Creek, and Alan Davies has said that he thinks he was like the 30th choice or so.
Okay.
I've written down 5 names, 5 people you could like guess, British actors that were supposedly before Alan Davies in the running. Let's see how many of these 5 you can get.
Okay.
And should we give him a finite number of guesses?
Yeah.
10?
Yeah. If
Okay.
you don't guess it in 2 turns, you don't get 20 points. How about that? How's the table turned on you?
Well, there's no league for
As in
this.
for-
There's no Jonathan
There
Creek.
can be. We can play this every week. That's what people at home are saying. More of this. More quizzes. People are like,
Okay.
I'm going to stop. I'm delete. Unsubscribe.
Oh, this is hard. Okay. I'm going to go Stephen Fry.
I don't have Stephen Fry. It's just these 5.
This is not.
Okay. But what about in that area? Hugh Laurie, Stephen Fry.
Well,
slow down.
Tell me what your guesses are.
Oh, right.
You
Okay.
have a certain amount.
So, yeah, Hugh Laurie or Stephen Fry, I reckon.
Hugh Laurie, correct.
Yes.
Ding.
So you've had 2 guesses.
Rick
one right.
Mail.
Yes.
Ding.
Okay, let's have a look. Around that kind of fame.
Like, don't take forever.
Okay. Oh, come on. What's the one that does? What's the name of the guy who does the impressions?
I can't help you.
Is he on there?
I can't help you.
Is he on there though?
I can't help you.
Not Angus Deaton. What's the guy? Oh, shite. What's the name of the guy who does the impressions?
What does that even mean? There's a lot of people that do
Is Adrian
impressions.
Edmondson on there? They're not going to go up against each other, are they?
No.
No. I wouldn't
4
have thought
guesses.
So.
You've got 6 guesses left and 3 to get.
Okay. Oh God. Who else is famous around that time? Any older? You got to give me some clues, man.
No, come on.
Okay, Stephen Fry, Hugh Laurie have gone for that. What are you doing?
Oh, you'll see.
Should
You'll see.
we?
I'm getting ready.
Right, okay. Come on. Are you giving up?
Oh, Rowan Atkinson.
Nope.
Oh shit.
5 more guesses.
5 more
3
guesses.
to get.
Oh God, I can't think of any British actors now.
Do you want to know?
Give me a clue.
You've already said one of them,
What?
but you didn't submit it as a guess.
Angus Deaton.
Angus Deaton.
Was Angus Deaton down?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Okay.
You've got to give me the impression dude then, if he's on there.
Alistair McGowan.
Alistair McGowan.
No, that's not right.
Oh,
So
Christ.
you've lost a guess there.
Anthony Stewart Head.
There you go. I wanted a wrong buzzer.
Time it.
It's hard to time.
Was Anthony Stewart Head up for Jonathan Creek?
Nope.
Oh.
2 more guesses left and 2
Okay.
names to get. So you can do this.
Okay. Who else is good?
That is Jude Law.
What about someone like Ardal O'Hanlon?
No.
Oh, okay.
Was that? Yeah.
And another comedian. Billy Connolly.
Nope. Unlucky, Gavin.
Who are the other ones?
Nigel Planer.
Okay.
Nicholas Lyndhurst.
I was going to say Nicholas Lyndhurst. Motherfudger. I was literally about to say Nicholas Lyndhurst, but I couldn't think of his name. So I wasn't really going to say him.
Jonathan Creek or Shit Creek?
Yeah.
You're up. Shit Creek.
Oh, that's good.
That was a good title, yeah. So Gav gets 0 points in the league.
No,
on
I
the table.
didn't. I got.
You were at the bottom of that.
You did not
particular
get them
league.
all.
But how
yeah.
many of those did I guess? I guessed 3.
You got. Yeah, but that was not the challenge.
You had
3
to,
out
you
of
had
what?
to guess all
3
5.
out. 3 out of 5.
Yeah.
I think 3 out of 5 is good.
3 out of 5.
Bottom
Bottom of that league.
It's Jonathan Creek's on. I think something called Really at the moment, like a satellite channel called Really at the moment. And my girlfriend's been watching it late at
Really?
night. Yeah, I do that. And she sends me a still.
Space loves that.
She sends me a still of Jonathan Creek going, "What's the episode?" And I have to, from that one particular thing, deduce the episode.
Are you Edward Nigma?
I've got a good record. I'm like 4 out of 6, I think.
You're 4
just,
for
just
6.
on the one. I'm getting it.
That's it.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Right. Cool. Yeah. So we're not that keen on that coming back, are we?
No, we're not. Is what that
Leave it as it
bit
is.
was about. Okay, what else is rubbish?
They're making a Venom movie.
Yeah.
And what is this idea? I've written down some quotes from a story. The Hollywood Reporter brought this story.
Okay.
And so Venom is happening at Sony Pictures. Sony Pictures still own the Spider-Man rights. Those are
Yeah.
the people who try to reboot it with Andrew Garfield.
Which
They-
I actually liked more than a lot
But
of
they
people did.
realised the bigger play...
Yeah, I like the Andrew Garfield
And they
one.
realised the more sensible play was to give the character back to Marvel, even though they retain the rights.
Yeah.
Go and you make the movie, you put him in the MCU,
Yeah.
and we'll take the money and that's good for everyone.
Do you reckon it's just like, stop slacking off Spider-Man? You fucking do that.
What? Do you think you can do this better? Kevin Feige's like, yeah, yeah.
Absolutely.
Of course you could. Well, better than Paul Giamatti in a mech suit? Yeah, yes please. So they took him back. But Matt Tolmach and Avi Arad, the guy who worked at Toy Biz and was responsible for kind of reviving Marvel in the 90s and doing the first Marvel movie deals. He did X-Men deal with Fox, and he also did the Spider-Man deal with Sony, and he was the producer on the first Sam Raimi Spider-Man
Bet
movies.
they hate him now.
I reckon a bit, yeah, because he left once kind of it became clear Kevin Feige was going to take control of Marvel Studios, and he kind of left. I was watching the documentary called Marvel Renaissance. It's a French documentary,
actually,
and there's Avi Arad is one of the talking heads in that movie.
Oh wow!
And they interview him in his office, and in his office he's got like loads of Spider-Man posters, a desk like full of like Spider-Man head knockers. He's got a Spider-Man ring on. He's got a Spider-Man t-shirt. It's like, you've not really moved on.
Yeah.
And can you imagine his feelings when they like gave Spider-Man back?
Yeah.
I almost wonder what kind of the deal is where they've had to placate him and Matt Tolmach and going, you can still make a Venom movie. But it sounds like, so this is the quote from Hollywood Reporter, this has been envisioned as a franchise apart from and unrelated to the upcoming Spider-Man movie in the works with the actor Tom Holland.
How do you make a Venom movie without Spider-Man?
I don't know.
Why
And
you make a
also,
Spider-Man?
I feel like if it's not connected to the wider MCU, what kind of power is that drawing? What's it going against? Now, currently, Venom in the comics, and this is kind of interesting, is played by Flash Thompson, the
Right.
school bully.
Yeah.
And he's now called Venom Space Knight, and he's like an agent working in
Venom
space.
Space Knight.
Yeah.
He's called that, isn't he? Something like it's kind of along those
So
lines.
badass.
And he's like a cosmic character now, and he's
Yeah.
like he kind of interacts a lot with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
But again, it can't have any of that stuff.
Can't do that.
And that, like, even as a concept, that's so far out
Yeah,
from
like-
what
yeah.
viewers will be used to. Like, it
Yeah,
would just not go
it's
down
so
well
weird.
at
So
all.
I don't
Yeah.
know how this can really work.
Yeah. But a good Venom movie could be awesome.
I think so too. If they did it, I think they're gonna have to kind of like stick by the books in terms of what a superhero movie is. But if they pitch it as kind of like him being sort of an anti-hero, but then maybe
Yeah.
has to
But
like
I
have
wonder
some
if
sort
there's
of.
going to be like loads of weird gaps in the movie where I don't know. At some point, you'd have to name certain characters. Like,
Yeah.
I'm Eddie Brock. Where do you work? A Daily Bugle, but I'll never show it. Like, I don't. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of weird. Or will there be in this weird situation where he'll go to the Daily Bugle because he kind of
Yeah.
has to, and he'll interact with J. Jonah Jameson, but that would be different than the J. Jonah Jameson in the MCU. You've suddenly become like
Yeah.
really knotted.
It feels like they've looked at Deadpool and gone, right, that's a character that
Yeah.
kind of exists outside of what they're doing at the moment, even though it exists in that universe. It's
Like
very
it's
weakly,
partitioned by rights.
So it feels like they've kind of looked at that and gone, what have we got that can do that?
But it's even more knotted though, because it's like if the X-Men existed in the MCU,
Yeah.
which they don't. At least like Fox has like a bit of a bigger part of the Marvel sandbox to play in.
Yeah.
They've got all the X-Men, whereas this is just Spider-Man.
I don't think
and
it's-
even
yeah.
a big part of that Spider-Man thing, i.e. Spider-Man,
Yeah.
has gone back to Marvel Studios.
But that's the thing about Venom. Like, it works so well as a character because it works with Spider-Man so well.
Yeah.
Whereas you take Spider-Man out of it, and like I can understand maybe if they were going to be like Carnage, because you can kind of understand that. That's got a cool little story by
Yeah.
itself. But that's not what they're doing.
And I think like there is scope for them to do standalone Venom stuff. Like Venom has become a bigger character in the comics, has his own
Yeah.
books, like currently. But to launch that without Spider-Man is really hard.
People are
'Cause
going to look
least-
at that and be like, "What the hell is that?"
Yeah, what the hell is that? And there's nothing familiar to latch onto.
No.
And he goes, oh, he's a bit like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And also, like, we've seen a lot of the main Spider-Man villains already appear, like, in the Spider-Man movies. Like,
But this
like
is the
Doc
interesting-
Ock and Goblin. Like, are they going to have...
Well, this is the interesting thing. What happens to all these other Spider-Man villains? Because Marvel is making a standalone Tom Holland Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
And presumably they're going to have a pretty full toy box to play with. You're not going to neuter that character by saying, oh, you can't have these villains. Because Sony, by giving that character back, wants it to have the best kind of chance in life.
Yeah.
it's a very strange announcement.
Weird. I'm like, I don't reckon that film will ever happen.
Yeah, and also another quote from the story. This Venom is meant to not only stand on its own, but also to launch its own franchise.
Shut up.
What the
Venom cinematic universe.
What is that?
That's a press release put out by like a jilted ex-lover, isn't it?
Yeah,
Just do your own franchise, blackjack and hookers.
Yeah. I've still got that lock of your hair I can smell at night.
Yeah, I don't
That's
think
mad.
that film will ever come out. Basically, that's what I think. All right, we've gone on. Let's do some feedback. Is
Yes. Yeah.
What do we got?
Oh, I'm number 1. I'm number 1.
Except
this is from
in keyword
Hey. This is from Philip Hearn. He says, "Hi guys, how likely is it? Do you think that Steve Rogers will be killed towards the end of the film?" I assume. Okay, the subject is Captain America: Civil War. For Bucky to take over the role as Captain America, then Tony Stark to help resurrect Steve in Infinity War. It's a pretty simple question. I don't think it's very likely at all. I'm a huge fan of the Civil War comics.
I gave you that bit of feedback, so you're a huge Captain America fan.
I'm a huge Captain America fan, big fan of the Civil War comics. I like that was one of my biggest hangups when I saw like the trailer and some of the first footage from Marvel Civil War, is that like I knew I was always going to relate it to the books, and like any changes was always going to be a bit jarring for me. And it's already moving in quite a drastically different direction than the comics. So I think it's probably going to resolve itself in a way that doesn't end up with Steve Rogers being killed. Because like the whole point of Steve being killed is such a pivotal moment in the comics, because it's him, he thinks he's doing the right thing, but then he realizes, the people of the city, the people of America who he's trying to protect are now against him. And that's like a huge, big, pivotal moment in the plot. But it seems like now they're going more for the relationship between him and Bucky.
Yeah.
And I know that there's going to be some like tearing moment emotionally at the end of the film, but I don't think it's going to be between Steve and the people of the country. I think it's going to be something different.
I think they need to
Probably him and Tony, actually.
I think at some point they need to kill someone.
Yeah.
To give it a sense of real jeopardy.
Hawkeye.
Like Ultron dispenses with Quicksilver, but he's new. You haven't spent any time with him. Eventually, if they kill one of these big characters, I imagine how shocking that moment would be. It would be a really powerful moment. And suddenly you'll be like in that Walking Dead or Lost situation where you go, like, people are expendable.
Quicksilver's.
Yes, but
Because also, in a practical sense, some of these people, contracts will run out and they're bringing through a new wave of heroes. Like,
I think that I don't trust that they would have the balls to do it. Like I haven't watched S.H.I.E.L.D., so I don't know why Coulson comes back. Yeah. So I don't know the reasoning behind that.
It's because they needed a lead character for it.
Yeah, it was something.
So because I generally thought that like the use of Coulson dying and like what Samuel Jackson when he gets like the baseball card and put the blood on it and stuff like that, like the use of Coulson in Avengers, I was like, holy shit, that's actually someone who's died and I care about.
Yeah.
But I don't think they would do it. Like I in Avengers, when we were watching Avengers, the second one, Age of Ultron, I was like, Hawkeye's gonna die, or Hawkeye's like wife was gonna die, or something like that.
Yeah.
None of that happened. Like,
but
Hawkeye's wife is definitely dying at some point.
Yeah.
Like that has been established for
we all know
a
Hawkeye's
longer
wife,
reason.
Children, Hawkeye himself. Possibly
That's a
is
bigger
gonna be
reason.
Obliterated.
Like that is cool. I tell you what you mean, but like there's going to be a time where some of these guys stop doing what they're doing, and I think then they'll take that decision to at least one of them. Like once someone's a deal is expended, like
I just think like I never trust. I just don't trust that they have, even like Bucky. Do you know what I mean? Like I know that was
but that's
for a
not
reason.
even. But like if someone's contract is expired, that's not even having balls.
No, yeah.
That's actually just a kind of impactful solution.
But
for,
also it's like it's important to note that like a lot of these characters are killed in the comics because these are comics that have been going on for decades. What you're dealing with now is generations of children who are growing up on these movies. For you to kill one of their characters, like maybe their favorite Avenger that they've grown up with, solely in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, I think if contracts end, it will be a very much like round off the end of a section of films and some of them go their own ways. I don't think they would ever kill like off, except for Hawkeye maybe.
Do you know what's like really weird, right? So like one of my favorite like big blockbuster franchises is Fast and the Furious. Like I think,
really?
I think they're good
Didn't know.
films.
You should mention it. Though.
I think they're fun films, right? But you know what's like interesting with Marvel? I feel like I'm always hearing about their contracts, and I'm hearing about like so and so saying they've got this many films left. So and so with Vin Diesel, right? And the man can do no wrong in my eyes. It's fair enough. But you never hear of him like going, "Oh, is Vin Diesel going to be coming back?" No, Vin Diesel loves that franchise. Like it's with all of his heart. Like it always feels
well,
like.
what else he got going on?
Last Witch Hunter. Maybe that could be a new franchise for him.
And also,
Why does Vin Diesel not want to be in like one of the biggest franchises in the world?
I have
Guardians of the Galaxy?
I have a feeling like the planning
going
and
on for him?
structure and preparation for Fast and the Furious isn't quite the same as being
level
a
of planning.
part. Yeah, you probably have to plan like years in advance of your entire life. Whereas like I'm sure Fast and the Furious is like
Get a car.
it's like hey, we're doing another one.
Yeah.
We've got a road. We've got
Yeah.
a car.
Have we got?
There's a rock up to.
Wait,
Have we got a title for this
100
one
million
now?
budget,
We'll
yeah.
think of it on the way there.
How dare you?
How very dare.
But no, but do you know what I mean? There's nobody in the Marvel universe the cinematic universe that I feel like loves being in that universe.
Oh
I
no!
think they all love it. I think
Who?
they all love it.
Who likes being in a Marvel film?
Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, Anthony Mackie. I think
Not as much as Vin Diesel.
Oh, but like, how are we quantifying
what does
this?
that even mean?
I'm sure Robert Downey Jr. gets home at night and sees the 7 houses. It's going, I actually quite like this.
Yeah.
Chris
No.
Evans, like for all like plus, like I do think he's like learned, like he's got to a point where he actually does like doing those movies where he didn't
Do you know
initially.
what?
I think he bridled against it a bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I
Ruffalo.
listened to that Wiz Khalifa song about 8 times before coming in to record this podcast, and I'm just a bit teary about Fast and the Furious.
Did listen to that song 2016
I did listen to
because
that song in 2016.
I listened song 2016.
Okay, I got a bit of feedback from Adam Garrick. It says, my name's Adam from Melbourne.
Hi, Adam.
I love Melbourne. It's an amazing place. Any thoughts on why Australia is so poor at filmmaking? I can count the number of Aussie films I genuinely like on one hand, namely Waking Fright, Wolf Creek, and Animal Kingdom. That's it. Thoughts? Good films, though. To be fair.
Three.
Like, I don't know, like The Proposition, that's really good. I really like that. The Rover, also really good. I really like Animal Kingdom is a fantastic film.
Romper Stomper.
Romper Stomper, oh, that's a film.
I
That's
also
a film.
wrote down
Australia.
Chopper.
Chopper, yeah, that's a good
Those are
film.
the really good crime movies Australia makes.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't know if you haven't got like an infrastructure where they're making like a shitload of like high budget and stuff like that films. Like you want to be the people who are making just the cool,
Yeah, the
like,
indie, like-
you know, like they make a lot of like really good like Animal Kingdom is a hard film, but there's some really funny moments in that as well. Like it's a really horrible like black comedy sort of thing. It's not black comedy.
A lot of films
but, like,
shoot there as well because of tax breaks
Yeah.
and stuff. So they've
Or
got
Star
decent
Wars.
crews.
Like lots of the prequels, like I don't know, they've got like amazing actors as well. Like Eric Bana is always really good. I know like he's criminally underused, but he's one. And I think like what's in my job as well
What's my job? Is that an Aborigine
from
name?
Animal
For
Kingdom
traditional?
and The Gift.
Guy Pearce.
No, I didn't mean to say no like that then. Not Taron Egerton.
Turn it into a quiz.
Joel
quiz.
Edgerton.
Oh,
Joel
yeah.
Edgerton.
Joel
What's it-
Edgerton,
yeah.
yeah. The Gift. Turn it into a quiz. Like he's really good as well.
When in
The
doubt,
director.
turn it into a quiz.
Yeah.
Do you have any feedback? No. Quiz time.
Oh, I mean, I've just seen this feedback, but off the top of my head, I wish Wales was making those, like, I'd got the films under its belt that Australia has.
Snowtown.
Snowtown. Oh my God, that's horrible.
Dark City.
Dark City.
Dead
another really
Calm.
good one. Dead Calm. Awesome. Brilliant.
Loads of stuff.
Lots of good films.
So, final bit of feedback is from Paul Mason. Now, I haven't been on the podcast for a few weeks, and this email came in, and I'm not really sure what this is about, but I wanted
Is it
to...
about Cat and Fiddle Road?
It's called, Cat and Fiddle.
Oh, Christ.
is this
What
going,
is this
still
about?
going on?
What is Cat and Fiddle? Can
I
you
don't
illuminate
know.
me? Can
Did
I
this,
email it?
did this keep going? I haven't been
What
on
is this?
since I haven't heard this mentioned since the first time, like weeks ago.
I feel like this is...
Okay, let me read it
It's like a
out.
bit of a wind-up now.
As a local...
like the road itself.
Is he catching people who are doing the podcast that weren't on the previous episode, so we think it's a thing? As a local to the area, I need to clarify the mass confusion over the Cat and... Yeah, well, you've added to it, if anything.
The confusion is none of us know where this started
The
or where
Cat
it's
and
come
Fiddle
from.
is a stretch of road linking Buxton,
God's
Derbyshire to Macclesfield, Cheshire. If you really want to stretch it, you can say that it links Sheffield and Manchester, but that's pushing it in my honest opinion.
I think we know that.
It is infamous for multiple biker deaths as it has a great number of bends, etc.
Hang on, we read this one out last week.
I'm pretty sure that
This has only come through a few days ago.
What?
There is a pub there that bikers love, and it is the highest pub in the UK, I believe. Paul Mason.
I can't be right.
People gotta stop writing in about the Cat and the Fiddle, because what, do you know, this is what's happening. Like, it's like the Zelda timeline now, because I think someone sent a bit of email in, someone who knew what this was about.
Bit of email.
Someone sent an email in, somebody on the podcast who knew what it was about answered it, and then...
we just been a relay for people having chats via our feedback?
Like, I think
Just
it's like,
talk among yourselves.
it's like Red Dragon.
This latest bit of
like,
email
it's-
says, Dave, put the kettle on. I'll be home at 5. So, Dave, if you're listening, sort that out.
I came into the studio one day and Rory had his top off, and on his back he just had a big tattoo of a cat and a fiddle.
I'm part of the alliance. Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
It's all my plan.
Just hitting himself.
Maybe we... What if this podcast is become like a way of serial killers contacting each
Communicating.
other?
Oh crap!
That's what I meant by Red Dragon.
Not again.
Yeah. What if that's what's happening with the Cat and the Fiddle stuff? Like the every other letter.
And this is from Paul Zodiac Mason.
Oh, no,
Oh no! I
he
said the
knows
keyword.
now.
Every time I say
You've activated the Venturian.
If you say cat and you say fiddle, people die.
Yeah.
Along somewhere in Sheffield, somewhere in Manchester. I've given them locations. Oh no! Oh no!
You know what we have to do now? We have to do a live podcast from that pub, the highest
doing
pub
that.
in the UK.
Seance.
Oh,
If we
no.
don't die on the way.
It's too late. I mean,
We need to go Google Buxton and Macclesfield to make sure everyone's all right.
everyone's not dead.
Mass murder, the cat and the fiddle.
Like, I don't know what the Cat and Fiddle is thing anymore. It's beyond me.
Right.
It's like a John le Carre book by this
We were
point.
looking for a new podcast name, Cat and Fiddle.
I'll go with that.
You sounded really
Yeah,
skeptical,
yeah,
and then
right.
it just resolved itself.
As good as anything we've come
Hey,
up
welcome to Cat and Fiddle.
Yeah, it's like a
I'm
little
Cat.
pub.
He's Fiddle. I almost.
Wrecked it.
Yeah.
All right, that's the podcast for this week. What a load of fun. Right? We'll be back next week. Thank you very much for listening and watching.
See you later.